That pink jumpsuit might look kinda cool on your TV screen, but trust me, being a Squid Game guard is a nightmare wrapped in cotton candy packaging. Those strange shape-based masks hide more than just faces. They also cover up the soul-crushing reality of one of the worst jobs in fictional history. Let's take a walk in those black boots and see just how bad it really gets. Your day starts with that awful music blasting through the speakers. No gentle alarm, no hitting snooze, just 10 minutes to get your pink suit ready before your door hisses open like a horror movie. The clock counts down to 0, and boom, you're on the clock whether you like it or not. Roll call comes next, where you're counted like livestock. No names, just numbers. Looking around, you see nothing but identical jumpsuits and masks. Circle, triangle, square. That's your entire identity now. That cute little shape on your face is all that separates you from other groups of guards. But as far as the same shapes, you're all the same breed of cattle to the Squid Game founder. If you're a circle, which is a real bad spawn, you're at the bottom of the food chain. Triangles get guns and slightly more respect. Squares are the bosses, barking orders and making your life even more miserable than it already is. But honestly, every rank sucks in its own unique way. The rules for guards are even stricter than for the players. Drop your gun? Dead. Try to help a contestant? Dead. Accidentally sneeze at the wrong moment? Probably dead. One slip, one moment of humanity, and you're done for life. The whole facility is under constant surveillance. Cameras are everywhere, and armed supervisors are watching your every move. You're never truly alone, not even in your room. Someone's always watching somehow, making sure you stay in line. Mess up, and that someone is more than happy to put a bullet in your head. And who's the guy in charge of this cheerful operation? The Big Daddy frontman, of course. The boogeyman who never sleeps, and is just waiting for you to screw up. Working under his watchful eye is like living under a microscope 24/7. You can't relax, can't breathe, can't even blink without worrying he might see or sense weakness in you. Food time is no picnic either. The meals are engineered to keep you functioning, but just barely. Industrial-looking slop that provides enough calories to keep you moving, but tastes like something scraped off a factory floor. Every bite makes you long for just about anything else. Even those weird honeycomb candies would be a huge upgrade. You eat quickly, not because you're hungry, but because lingering around means thinking. And thinking leads to feeling, and feelings are the enemy in this place. So you shovel that tasteless gunk into your face and get back to work. There's always more work. The morning routine never changes. Stand guard, watch players suffer, and clean up blood-streaked floors. If you're a circle, you get the worst job of all, dragging away lifeless bodies and burning the remains in the incinerator. There's nothing like the smell of charred corpses before lunch to really brighten your day and whet your appetite. You're not just a guard, you're a janitor, a cook, and an executioner, all rolled into one convenient pink package. Scrubbing walls clean of the previous day's bloodbath becomes second nature with time. You try not to think about the fact that each splatter represents someone's child, someone's parent, someone's friend and brother or sister. One morning during a game, a player gets close to you. His face is streaked with sweat and fear, and for a brief moment your eyes meet through your mask. There's a desperate plea, a silent begging for mercy. He whispers, "Please," so softly that no one else can hear. For just a heartbeat, you want to help him, but then you feel a higher-ranked guard's presence behind you. You step back, pretending you didn't hear anything, pretending not to care.
한 번만 제발 한 번만 더.
The player's hope dies instantly as they see the superior guard. And another piece of your humanity dies with them. The organization doesn't just throw you into the deep end. They make sure you're properly brainwashed first. During your short training period, they drill one message into your head. Absolute loyalty to the game is the highest honor a guard can achieve. By the time training ends, you're handed a loaded gun, if you deserve one, and ordered to execute anyone who breaks the rules. Your first execution happens during the honeycomb game. Nothing prepares you for it. Training is one thing, but actually ending someone's life? That's a whole other monster. Your gunshot echoes through the air, and a life is ended by your hand. But you know what the worst part is? It gets a little easier every time. Just a little, though. If you're fortunate enough to get a break, you might play cards with the other guards. These brief moments of everyday normalcy are rare treasures. Memories of the life you left behind for the duration of the games. For a few precious minutes, you're not an executioner or slave. You're just a person playing a game that doesn't end in death for once. But even these moments are flawed. You look at your fellow guards and wonder, who were they before? What desperate situation brought them here? Could they shoot you tomorrow if ordered to? Probably, and you'd shamelessly do the same. The Squid Game facility's atmosphere is soul-crushing. Endless beams of fluorescent lighting cast a harsh glare that makes everything look like a kiddie-designed morgue. It never changes, never dims, slowly draining what's left of your humanity day by day. The afternoon brings more games, more deaths, and much more cleaning. After each round, the hollow feeling inside you grows. The players who showed kindness are now gone because of you and your colleagues. But the guilt in your chest has nowhere to go. The threat of your own death, if rules are broken, overrides any idea of showing mercy or rebellion. The marble game is particularly brutal on your mental mental state. Watching one player sacrifice himself for his elderly partner ignites a flicker of compassion in your chest. But you can't show it. You maintain your robotic demeanor as human tragedy unfolds before you and another piece of your humanity dies. You hate your reflection now. Behind that mask is a murderer. But the organization doesn't care about your guilt. They just give you new orders and expect dogmatic obedience. As night falls, you return to your quarters, the only place where you can momentarily escape the horror show of the Squid Games. There, you're just another shape, another anonymous guard drowning in regret. You contemplate the short list of possible escapes from this hell, but you know it's useless. They know everything. They can't be beaten. During off hours, you chill around the maintenance corridors where cameras don't reach. That's the only place you can let the mask slip, both literally and figuratively. You might encounter another guard who doesn't judge your sorry state. Maybe they even have some sympathy, but they can never express it. These rare human connections are dangerous but essential for maintaining your sanity in a place like this. Time in this spot blurs. Days feel like years, but there's no future, no past, just the eternal present. You try not to think of your old life. You never appreciated the everyday parts of life, the little things. The walk to your old workplace, the annoying sounds of your neighbors. At least back then you had your own life under your own roof, even if just barely. But if you let your mind wander, you might slip up. And slipping up means joining the bodies you've been carrying to the incinerator. Sleep doesn't bring any rest. Screams of players keep you awake, along with nightmares about people you've executed. When you finally do sleep, you dream about escape, about rebellion, about anything but this pink prison you're trapped in, continuing to feast on your soul. But escape is impossible. The facility is an inescapable island. And even if you could leave, where would you go? How do you return to normal life after what you've seen, what you've done? Every guard eventually reaches their breaking point. For some, it's after their first kill. For others, it takes weeks or months. But it comes for most eventually. Maybe you hesitate too long while patrolling a dim corridor, or fail to kill a player in a reasonable time, or maybe even just fail your report to your post. A higher-ranked guard steps forward, gun trained on your head. There's no time for words, no time for apologies. You know the rules, he says through his mask. One slip and you're done. Your throat tightens. I was just tired. Doesn't matter. After a brief silence, you know what's coming. An loud crack, a flash of pain, then you slump to the cold floor. In your final seconds, you realize that the promise of easy money was just cruel bait, leading you here with the other unfortunate souls. A disposable chess piece on a deadly board designed for the entertainment of the wealthy. No funeral, no name, no memory. Just another body to be dragged away in silence by tomorrow's desperate recruit in pink while today's rots. Being a Squid Game guard might look mysterious and cool on screen. The uniform has a certain minimalist appeal, and there's something oddly fascinating about those geometric masks. But in reality, it's one of the worst jobs imaginable. You lose your identity completely. Your face covered, your name gone, replaced by a shape and number. You're no longer a person, just another disposable worker in an endless supply chain of cruelty. You're just as trapped as the players are. The only difference? You're wearing a mask and possibly holding a gun. One wrong move and you're done. The moral weight of your position crushes you daily, while you're forced to watch people die in twisted games, sometimes by your own hand. Even if you work your way up from circle to triangle to square, even if you somehow become the front man himself, the job still sucks. You're still a prisoner of the system, just one with slightly better accommodations and rules. So next time you watch Squid Game and think those pink guards look cool, remember that behind those masks are people just as broken and trapped as the players they're guarding. The difference is they don't even have the hope of winning and being rich. So that's been a day in the life of a pink guard. Do you think you'd stand a chance? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to see more Squid Game content and theories, click the video on screen now.